decline in his health.
All right, let's get some more analysis on this with Sahar Aziz. She's a professor of law at Rutgers University, and she joins us now from Newark, New Jersey. Sahar, appreciate you being with us. The government has classified his death as a heart attack. There seems to be a rush to burial here. Some in the international community have been calling for an independent investigation. What could their role be in the judicial process here?
Well, I don't think any investigation that is overseen by Egyptian officials or Egyptian judges is going to be independent. So it's important that it is from international monitors. And the issue is whether or not the Egyptian regime violated the International Covenant on Social, Economic, and Cultural Rights, as well as the Covenant against Torture and Inhumane Treatment, otherwise known as CAT, in terms of denying him medical care, chronically denying him medical care for very serious illnesses related to diabetes and liver disease. And the fact that the regime was on notice of his deteriorating health condition makes the regime look even more culpable in terms of allowing the inevitable to happen, which is his death from his illness and lack of adequate medical treatment.
So is there any legal recourse here, at least from the family? And also, you had, as you mentioned there, Amnesty, Human Rights Watch. They were all groups that foreshadowed this exact scenario.
Well, to the extent that they can file a claim in the International Criminal Court, that might be a possibility based, again, on these two international treaties, which Egypt has ratified. Egypt ratified the ICCPR in 1982 and CAT in around 1986. So Egypt at least is on the hook legally. They are bound by it. I think we already know that they will not get justice in Egypt based on the trial of Morsi himself and the Muslim Brotherhood. The judiciary has not been able to act independently as a result of the executive's changes in the laws and tightening of its control over the judicial process. And especially if you're a member of the Muslim Brotherhood, then the process becomes even more dubious. So the issue is whether they can bring it before an international tribunal. Of course, the international community could also, through the UN, push for some form of UN-sponsored investigation or task force or something that is driven by the international community writ large. However, you have a situation here where the United States, in particular, is protecting President Sisi and defending his regime, notwithstanding records and evidence of human rights violations in the prisons in particular and in other areas. So in many ways, Morsi's death is a result of a much bigger problem of human rights violations, torture, inhumane treatment, failure to provide adequate medical care in Egyptian prisons. And so it's unclear who in the international, particularly in the Western world, is going to be pushing for this, because thus far, the Western world, the Western countries, Europe, the United States, have, I think, shown a deep level of hypocrisy. They claim to be modern, enlightened, sophisticated liberal states, but they're supporting authoritarian regimes that are engaging in illiberal, anti-modern and very repressive practices, and the Western countries just shrug their shoulders and say, well, that's just another day in our foreign policy.
Sahar Aziz, you bring up a lot of really good points there. We appreciate you coming on to provide us with some legal analysis on this. Thanks for being with us.